What's up, YouTube? Knight's Edge here again, back at it. Got a brand new phone and pretty cool knife to review, so I appreciate you guys putting up with the lack of content, I guess, over the last week or so. Trying to get back on the wagon here as far as trying to put out some videos every day. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks so much to my channel members, subscribers, Patreons. If you're interested in joining Patreon, it's linked down below. Discord members, everyone that sends me knives, including this one. Thanks, Mind and Milton, for sending this one along. Pretty cool little knife. Gonna get all into it here in a second. And man, this has been a heck of a ride, and I really appreciate it. Hopefully the new camera looks good. I don't know how it looks yet. Haven't checked the video out. I'm kind of just stumbling through making it right now. But this one, without further ado, is the North Arms Skaha 2. Pretty cool knife, man. I really actually I love doing this as a hobby, as a kind of a habit, hobby, whatever you want to call it. But sometimes some knives come along that I really enjoy more so than the usual, and this is one of them. North Arms is a small knife manufacturer in the greater Vancouver, Canada area, and father and son kind of team. They've got a small shop. I really encourage you to go check out their YouTube channel. I kind of watched their shop tour on the YouTube channel, and that was pretty neat. So they do pretty much everything in-house, from heat treat to making the handle materials and all that stuff. So pretty cool, kind of like a small batch Canadian knife, little first for my channel anyway. So anyway, that's a little bit of history. Let's get into it. The Skaha, as a matter of fact, let's see. All right, I had to double check my facts there. Sorry about that. The Skaha is named after a lake in the Okanagan Valley. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And in Canada, really beautiful place. I actually watched a couple of videos on the Okanagan Valley in Canada. Pretty cool, man. Like, I never even knew that place existed. They call it like the Caribbean of Canada. Really beautiful place. So pretty cool. So that's what the knife is named after, a lake in that region. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. We'll go ahead and do the how I normally try to do overviews, reviews. Let's see here. Get into the specs. Overall, from the tip of the blade to the end of the handle, you're looking at 7 3/4 inch. Not quite what I would typically define as a full-size knife, but it definitely feels every bit of that full-size vibe and kind of feel to it. So your overall cutting edge, or your overall blade length rather, is 3.5 inches from the tip of the blade right there to the end of the handle, right at 3.5 inches. And your cutting edge is sitting right at, I'd call it 3 3/16, maybe a little over 3 1/8. So medium size, I guess, almost a full size knife. But again, it definitely has that full size feel to it. Get the calipers out here. Alright, so thickest part of the spine, blade stock thickness, you're coming in at 104.5 thousandths. Behind the edge, you're looking at 16.5 thousandths. And your handle thickness, 580 thousandths. Kind of a thicker handle, but it's really a great feel. So that's pretty cool. If you haven't checked out Mind and Milton, please definitely go do that. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning, but this is his knife, and he was gracious and nice enough to send me this thing to check it out. So please go give Mind and Milton a subscription. Great dude, really awesome member of the knife community. So let's go ahead. We'll do some size comparisons here. Get out the usual suspects here. You got the cold steel knives, 8010. And then you've got the Demco 80-20.5. Actually got that right this time. So the overall length is very close to the 80-20.5 slicer. So that's pretty cool. And the slicer actually has less cutting edge than the sorry about that, less cutting edge than the Skaha 2. All right, kind of getting used to this pretty nifty little knife holder that a buddy of mine actually sent me as a Christmas present. I thought that was pretty cool of him. Guy named Tommy, Help with Gadgets. You want to go check him out? Pretty cool dude with a pretty cool channel. That is the Ontario Knives Rat Model 1 and the Ontario Knives Rat Model 2. Couple of, well, Ontario Knife Company, you know, Ontario is in Canada. These knives are made in Taiwan, however. So that gives you kind of an idea of the size of those two against the Skaha. Then you got the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 and your Spyderco Para 3. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the usual suspects. Let's do a couple of one-all size comparisons here. A couple of things that I guess everybody, or some people, you know, might be able to relate to. That's the Spyderco Shaman and 15V, and there is your Spyderco Native 5. That's the salt version, wearing a fancy pair of scales, applied weapon stack aluminum scales there. And that 15V Shaman's got some oil slick titanium mitten boss scales. Alright, so another size comparison here. You got your DeWalt frame and hammer there. Roof and hammer, actually, I think. And your standard 8-inch American Crescent wrench. There you go. Alright, let's do a couple more size comparisons. I have heard tell that they're pretty popular. So here is the JRB Blades Custom One-Off. Pretty cool knife itself. This is Carco's Murdats, whatever you want to call him. That is his Red Horse Knives War Pig. Pretty awesome little knife there. Let's do a couple more of Murdat's knives here. You got the Maverick, the custom lefty Maverick. And there is the Randy Doucette custom right there. Have to get used to closing these lefties, which I've actually gotten pretty good at. Lefty based knives don't really deter me as much as they used to. So let's see, we'll do two more just randoms here. You got the Kizer Mini Paragon right there up against it, and let's do it up against the Kershaw Launch 13. All right, so you should have, I would think, a fairly decent idea of the size of the North Arm Skaha 2 compared to some other knives. Let's do a weight on this bad boy. Now this thing feels incredibly light, man. Balance is, let's see, balance is sitting right about there, which is pretty cool. Really good thin blade stock. Probably help if I turn the scale on first. Let's check this out. 3.2 ounces. I probably would have guessed 3. It feels lighter than that, but that is still pretty light, right at the ounce and inch ratio, if you subscribe to that. Here is in pocket, the old blue jeans. Alright, so not quite like full deep carry, you know, but still deep enough, you know. I mean, I like the wire clip. Always been a big fan of the wire clip. Works perfectly fine to me. I have no issues. Never have had an issue with a wire clip, and that one goes in and out of pocket just fine. So good job on that. All right, let's see, last of the specs here. Do a hardware check on it. This is, what is this, T6? I'm thinking a T8, but I'm not sure, which is why we do the hardware check. All right, yeah, T8, okay. T8 on that, and that is definitely, is that a T8? This looks bigger than a T8. All right, so let's see. Yeah, T8 also on the pivot. All right, I was thinking T10, but no, T10. All right, that's a T10. Let's double check that pocket clip there. T10 on the pocket clip. That's awesome, man. All right, so T8 on the body screws, T10 pivot, T10 on the pocket clip. Pretty cool. A+ 100 as far as the hardware goes. Not a closed captive pivot, but probably I would guess has a D-shaped pivot barrel in there. I'm sorry. This thing is just awesome to open it. Let's go ahead and go into my review section, I guess, of it. My thoughts, my full thoughts on this one. So ergonomically, this thing's awesome. Really love it. Never been that big of a fan of flippers, but I'm starting to warm up to it, man. There's a lot of flippers that I've handled recently that have turned me on to flipper only knives. And while I would love to have that middle finger reverse flick, that would be awesome. And you could probably actually make a little cutout there. You could probably do that, but this thing, as far as a flipper only, this thing is awesome. I mean, you cannot, I've not been able to fail this thing. Just try to do it right there. Oh, there we go. First time for everything, I guess. It's hard to fail it. I mean, it takes very little effort to open this knife. Extremely fidgety to me for a front flipper only. So big props on that. Flipper works great. Got that little kind of do a trigger pull right there. Not a full choke up. Not enough. You know, you can't really get the meat of your finger in there. I can. I wear a large size glove. Have average size hands, I guess. So right there is pretty much where you're locked in. And as far as I go, that feels really comfortable. And that is getting back to the wider handles I was talking about earlier. I really like that. I think that's a great thing. Now, these things do come in all kinds. You can get G10, you can get carbon fiber, you can get this Arctic Storm carbon fiber, which they offer all kinds of different variants on their website. That'll be linked below. northarmknives.com. So they start out right at $264 for just a plain I call it plain Jane G10 and Magna Cut 30. Let's see, where is it at? 3879, right? Is that what that says? Is the number on this one? They are a small batch, in-house, everything in-house, Canadian company. They, I think, are about a little over $100 more for the carbon fiber. So if you're getting this particular version, you're looking at around $364, which for the quality of it, and you know, being as how it's all small batch, in-house, father and son team kind of thing out of a building that they do everything out of, I think that's an amazing price. I have absolutely no issue with that price. That is a killer deal in my opinion. It's a really good deal on that. A little bit of jimping up here, which kind of helps a little bit whenever you're doing a lot of slicing with it. It is a slicey little knife. Let's see, any paper over here? Maybe I can get a, let's see, let me get a piece of paper out. Maybe I can do that without tearing the world apart here. Extremely slicey little guy. And I believe, pretty sure, yeah, it looks like the original factory edge. But, yep. definitely an incredibly slicey knife, I would say. With that less than average thickness blade stock, pretty cool. Magna Cut, heat treated really well from what I know, what I can see on their website. Yeah, I mean, this thing's this is the full package. I think this is an awesome knife. You getting small batch, in-house made stuff from a father and son team in Canada. Really, really cool. This G10 or this carbon fiber is really smooth, no sharp edges on here anywhere, and really, really cool. Now, one little bonus thing on this that I thought was really neat is and I'm I like acoustics on knives, right? You guys have, hopefully you've seen some. I think I did have a top 5 acoustic knives video. That was before that I handled this one, but listen to this. I think that's pretty cool. That little double click. You can actually hear it. I don't know if it's coming through, but yeah, it kind of reminds me, reminiscent of kind of like an opposite of that 80-20.5, that short lock on that, right? Whenever it's closing, you kind of got that kind of click clack on that one. This one, whenever you're opening it, you've got a really crisp, consistent double click. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm a nerd, I guess, in that respect, but yeah, so overall, man, great execution, great knife, really simple looking. You know, I mean, I really was wondering what the big deal on this one was before I actually was able to handle it, and now I know. You know, I think it's an awesome knife, man. I'd definitely putting this on my most recommended knives playlist. They are periodically available. Some of the versions aren't available. It does take a while to get them. Says the orders they try to ship within 6 weeks, you know, and then they'll give you tracking. So after you order it, a couple months, a month and a half, you know, or so, that's perfectly understandable. I mean, they are out of a 2-story building, father and son duo. Again, very small batch, really, really cool. And to me, the price, the weight, that would totally be worth it. I would love to get my hands on one of these someday. I would like to put that in the collection. I think it's an excellent knife and an excellent price. So very, very highly recommended. North Arms, if you guys are watching this by some miracle of a chance, you're 17 and a half, almost 18 minutes into the video, and you feel like sending some dude in New Orleans, Louisiana, a North Arms knife, holler at me. But yeah, really cool knife, highly recommend. Thanks, Mon and Milton, really appreciate you loaning me this. This will be shipped back to you tomorrow, which is today when you're watching this. Actually, it is today because it is almost 1 a.m. Wow, okay. But yeah, I really wanted to get this review out and give my thoughts on this one because this is a really cool knife. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all my channel members, Patreons. Hit the like button if you like the content. Subscribe if you want more of it. And until next time, guys, hope you have a good evening, morning, whenever you're watching this, and stay sharp.